Hi, I'm David Norris, and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Patter with Russ, Daz, and Haz. Play up, Pompey!
And Murphy scores! A magnificent goal! That's just wonderful from Josh Murphy! Shaughnessy, great saving! Shaughnessy at the near post! Chance for Colby Bishop over the goalkeeper, off the post and into the back of the net! Colby Bishop! Lang's got his fourth! A fourth for Callum Lang!
Welcome back to the Pompey Patter podcast. We are now in series 2. We're on episode 1. And boy, is it good to be back. Good to be back. I am joined by very passionate Pompey fan, Haz.
Oh, yes. Play up,
And
Pompey.
we always knew he was a complete scummer, Daz.
Oh, I'm not joking. Right, mate.
If you hadn't seen over the summer, as we left it, that Daz had to do a forfeit. To be fair to him, he did it. Put his picture up with a scum top. Fair play to him. But he will now forever be known as Scummer Daz.
Do you know what? It was actually a lot easier than I thought. I didn't get as much abuse as I thought.
That's because you can go with the red and white stripes.
Yeah. Well, as I said, it's like literally, I know a fair few like scummers in Winchester, but like half of them don't have tops. And I literally scrambled for that one. So it was either that or nothing.
I nearly just went on DHgate and ordered it for you, but I just couldn't bring it. I just couldn't bring myself to pay for a scum shirt.
Yeah.
Right, so it's probably got a lot to cover tonight. We got our predictions for the championship next season. We have sort of a roundup of what's going on with Pompey at the moment. We've also got Harry's Who Am I? I'm assuming.
Yeah, why not?
It better be. We don't annoyingly have Dad's new feature because he's old. I've got a couple new features. So
Daz was meant to have a new feature, but because he's a stupid old fucker, he left his new feature in his book at work. So
It's my brain. It's my bloody brain.
didn't take his meds this morning.
No, I didn't.
So
He's going back to the nursing home later on once we finished.
yeah, he needs to take his meds ready for the night. Right. Shall we crack on then? And should we sort of maybe have a look at what's been going on with Pompey lately?
Nothing, because we're doing nothing in the transfer market, and we're a boring club.
Hang on, we'll get to that later. So, since the end of the season, obviously we signed Segasic and we signed Swift. It seems like Kozlovaneski, I don't know how you pronounce it. We're going to call him Mark.
Yeah, it's just Mark.
Seems like Mark is pretty much done, considering the club he's coming from. Is it Budapest, was it?
Yeah.
Have signed his replacement and given him his shirt number. So I'd imagine the only hold up is probably is like some sort of clearances or whatever. Would you agree, boys?
Yeah, it's probably work permit or something like that. A lot of clubs announce it before, but Pompey seem to always wait until it's been approved before they announce it. Some clubs go, subject to international clearance. Pompey seem to wait, certainly with the Aussie boys they have a lot of the time.
Yeah, especially with Farrell. That one took a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously, some of the Aussies have got dual nationality, so that makes it a lot easier for them to be given work permits and visas. But people like Farrell, he doesn't have a dual nationality, and obviously Kozlovaneski, and then potentially Leroux as well probably doesn't have one either. So having a single nationality, it just takes a bit of time and a bit longer. So either tonight, maybe while we're recording, that'll be lovely, or tomorrow, I reckon. Ready, and he'll play at the weekend.
Yeah, I think Mark's one is is probably the closest. But then saying that, it looks like with the South African lad, I've forgotten his name already.
Leroux.
Leroux. He being pictured is definitely 100% is him, not Harvey Nibbs, which was going around earlier. Would you say, boys, with them coming in, that's our midfield done?
I think we probably, like we said earlier, didn't we? I think maybe one more. And that's the thing with the transfer window, because it's like ever changing and things like that. And it's not really got going yet. So, I mean, once the Premier League starts kicking off with them moving players around, then we might see some more activity going on. I think I can't see anyone else leaving from obviously our centre mid pool, unless sort of there's someone. Say I don't think we're going to go from now, but say that Pell Matson was available and we really wanted him, then we might have to shift someone out. I think that would only be that only scenario. I think that we might, as we said earlier, go down the under 21 route and Premier League 2 and that, just for a bit of depth, I think. But yeah, I think those two, I think that's our centre mid pretty much settled, at least until the end of the window. It gets us through that first part of the season until the end of the window. So yeah, I can't see too much more movement.
Has you got similar thoughts? Would you say that's it? Could you see us maybe getting a loan in from the Premier League just to have a body in there?
I think. Well, we looked at earlier, didn't we? Leroux seems to be more of a defensive midfielder, which would, as Dad said, would hint that Matson is off the table. So in that position, you've got Leroux and Pack. Then you've got Kosnowski, Dazelle, Swift, and Devlin as the supposed eights, more box to box midfielders. So you've got two in each, and then pretty much what Dad says, supplement that with just one loan, just in case there is stupid amounts of injuries again, like we've had last season, where you'll need that cover. But it's got to be someone that's kind of maybe their first loan, because if you're looking at someone like Freddie Potts, that kind of thing, he was expected to play every week. He was at that age where he needed to, whereas you might be able to get a bit, maybe go younger, which I know some people might not like, but it might be the first loan where they're getting used to adult changing rooms, like as in like a men's first team rather than a kids changing room as such. And they do play minutes, but they're not playing every week. Maybe that's something you look for.
Yeah, I do feel like another body probably could be done with being in there. I know you got, obviously we got Devlin, and then he's tinkered with Swanson in the centre mid, which you don't know what he's thinking with that. But then, obviously he's just put up that he's left his flat, so he's obviously on his way. I'm pretty sure that rumour will start any minute now. So, but. Obviously, I would say the right wing is obviously got to be our next number one target, and then you would probably say the foundations are there. Would you not agree?
I think if you can get a permanent right winger from somewhere, comes in and is your first, your starting 11 right wing, the starting 11 is looking good. And people were moaning about the fact that it's been quite a quiet window. It's a very different window from the last two summers. You had the first one where Messino came in as his first summer as manager. Obviously, he's clearing out all the dead wood from Danny Cowley and kind of restarting. Then all of a sudden, we've won the league and we've come up. Then you've got to rebuild again because you weren't. That wasn't the plan. The plan was, playoffs or so. So you've come in again. You've had to rebuild again, ready for the championship. But now we've seen the majority of these players in the championship, and we've seen that they are capable. So you've got the foundations there already. It's about adding 5 or 6 permanent players, which we're on track to do, and then supplementing that on top with the loans. And it's about bridging the gaps, which is what I said about end of last season. Is the majority of the squad is good, but there are players that aren't good enough. For example, Sadie, we've upgraded onto Sedicic. He's a better player. He's probably going to be. He's younger. He's more exciting. He seems to fit better suited to the way that Messina played last year. Then you've got the likes of like Riley Towler's gone. You can put that money into elsewhere. Obviously, centre backs not necessarily a position we really need to look at for me, unless you really think you need a fifth, but you've got other players that can fill in there. It wouldn't be a priority position, but it's about closing that gap. And so far, we're doing that with the players we've got. So it's a successful window so far.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what some fans, not all fans, are struggling to understand. Is this window is just more about tightening the screws rather than getting a whole new piece of furniture.
Yeah, and sorry, and also, as I said to you boys earlier, I was listening to The Athletic the other day, and I think it was David Ornstein was saying that, like, we're not the only group of fans, by the way, like, saying that it's slow and that kind of stuff, because he mentioned quite a few, like, Premier League club fans, like, sort of saying, oh, we've not signed anyone, and he was like, we're still in July, and obviously you've got the Club World Cup, which probably would have had knock-on effect, because you've got Chelsea and Man City in there, two teams that obviously whack out a load of loans. Obviously, we know through like sort of Bazunu and Robertson and stuff like that. So them two teams are ones that throw out loads of loans to sort of Championship and abroad and that kind of thing. And yeah, so and obviously now Premier League clubs have come back. They're on the pre-season tours doing their pre-season stuff. So I think they'll start whittling down who they do and don't want for the season, and then it will start because you can see now it's starting to get going. So I would guess that we'll see some business be done in the next week or two. Enough, as I said, just enough to get through to the end of the transfer window from that period of starting the season. Get into the end of the transfer window where we can then pick up a few others. If we can have the main foundations, which we've already done partially, just need to add an extra couple of bodies, especially in centre mid. And as I said, that will get us through to the end of the transfer window. That way we can then start picking up players here and there.
Is there any other positions that you would, with these loans? So let's just say we sign a permanent right winger. That's your permanence done. Where would you slot in your loans? Would you go 1, 2, 3, or would you have all 5?
I mean, there's no harm in having 5. I mean, as long as they're going to come in and improve the squad, not just improve the squad, but give us that depth. There's no point in just getting the players for the sake of it. I mean, if you want to get players for the sake of it, I'll sign. Like, do you mean you need those players that, if you need them, they can come in. Like Mark O'Mahony, whatever you pronounce his name, that I think he was unlucky. I thought he looked the part. He looked like he could sort of add those bits and bobs, which towards the start of the season he did. Obviously at home to Oxford, away to Stoke, obviously grabbing goals. Then he got another one at Stoke towards the end of the season. He was just unlucky, obviously, with a bit of an injury. If he never had that, he might have had more of an impact. But because you got Colby in front of him, he's not going to be starting, because Colby's the first name on the team sheet as a number 9, isn't he? So we had Potts as well, who obviously made a massive impact last season. O'Sheesh here and there. But for me, I would go with all 5 if the players are there to take on. If not, I would say another right winger as a loan, because obviously with Harvey Blair, I'm not sure where his fitness levels are at. Another striker, because going with 2 strikers, just Colby and Waddingham, I think a third would be nice. And then, as I said, probably another centre mid as a loan. But yeah, if we could add then another 2, if Messina and Hughes think we can get the right bodies in, then yeah, I'm not. But I think the main positions would be centre mid, another striker, and a right wing if we needed to get loans in.
Is there anywhere you would look to see get anyone on loan in what positions?
Probably just 3 would be a 5th choice centre half, 3rd striker, and then probably a winger that can either play left or right. Then you've got a bit of cover for Josh Murphy, bit of cover for your right wing. I think either Paddy Lane or Blair will go out on loan. I don't see us keeping both. With with Sedicic can play on the wing as well. Then it depends on whether Messina sticks with playing as a 10 or he goes back to how he wanted to play, which is with one holding with 2 8s, which is how we played in the champ in League One, really for a bit, and then it kind of changed again. But that's how we started last season, and then he changed it. So it depends if he wants to revert back to that again, because then obviously Lang's not going to be in the team.
Yes, yeah, I've seen a lot of people crying out for 4-3-3 the last couple of days, and then I thought, you lot were the ones who were crying about Lang possibly leaving, and now you're leaving him out of the team completely.
Well, exactly. So it depends, because if he's then out of the team, then obviously you're going to use him on the wings again, aren't you? So then, do you really need another winger? It depends on what he's going to do. If you're going from last season, Lang's your starting number 10. Sedicic can play either right or 10. You get another right winger. You get a loan. Yeah, 3 loans: striker, winger, and centre half.
I think the indication of Messino saying that he wants a right winger tells me that we'll be playing the 4-2-3-1 with Lang behind.
Yeah.
That's the indication I'm getting. Maybe set up differently away from home. That was always a bit of the criticism last season. That maybe which we seem to by the end, have that like sort of Millwall approach, time wasting and things like that, and being a bit more dirty, a bit, dark arts as they call it in football. Because you need to in this, you have to fight, especially away from home.
Yeah, sorry, quick one. It's as you're saying about adapting. It's that saying, isn't it? Horses for courses. Like last season, if we could have turned like 3 or 4 of those losses, especially the ones where we got back into the game and then we conceded again, if you can turn them like losses into draws, the season looks a bit more comfortable, and that could be the difference from us finishing where we did last season to potentially finish maybe 2 or 3 spots up.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. On the outs, do you think, is there any? Obviously, you mentioned possibly Blair or Paddy Lane going. Is there a chance of others leaving?
Just the ones that he's already said about. So Matt Ritchie, Tom McIntyre, and there was another one, wasn't there?
Kamara, yeah.
Kamara. That's it. Just those 3.
Thoughts on Ritchie, boys. Like, are you surprised at Ritchie? Because a lot of fans are like, "Oh, there's got to be more to it because he's a Pompey boy. Why would you do that?" But then on the flip side, the boy, the man wants to play football. Doing.
He's, it was more like gutting, because you would kind of thought maybe he's come home to retire here. However,
Probably he did it all.
well, yeah, he probably did. However, he's 36 now. He isn't going to be able to do what he did last season again. And also, although he played a massive part in us last season with our pressing and leadership, his goal output was not enough. What did he get, like 5 goals and assists last season?
I was shocked at the lack of assists. I honestly thought he was going to be flying.
There wasn't enough goal involvements to say, do you know what? I can risk it. We need more output, because we can't be relying on Josh Murphy to be pumping out 20 goals and assists again. We need it to be, admittedly, you want Josh Murphy to do that again, but you want to be able to, rather than come out and say, I'm there for leadership and I just give the ball, we just give the ball to Murphy to do all the work. As much as the leadership proved vital, we need more output from that right wing. And he's had that conversation with Messino and probably Rich Hughes, and they've said, look, we want you to stay. However, we can't promise you the same amount of matches next year. And he's gone, okay, then I'm going to look elsewhere, because I feel like I should be playing every week. I'm 36. I'm not getting any younger. If I don't keep playing now, then I'm going to drop, because a lot of players do at that age. If they consistently play, they manage to keep it going longer. But if they then start dipping in and out, that's when the decline starts. So it's a shame. but it seems to be civil. There hasn't been any hint of anyone kicking off or anyone fighting or pinning up against the wall or anything like that. I hope he goes for the sake of him, so he can have a season successful at somewhere else, and that we get someone with his wages off our bill, and we can put it towards someone else.
Yeah, for me, like any sort of podcast you listen to with ex-footballers and footballers, all they want, especially from their like coaches and that sort of stuff, is honesty and just to look them in the eye and say, look, like you're not going to play as many games, and like players understand that because they know that's what football is. I mean, look at Richie at Newcastle over the last few seasons. Well, before this season just gone, didn't play many games at all. So maybe he didn't think he'd be playing as many games as he did this season, and then he's got to the end of the season just gone and just thought, you know what, I played a lot more than I wanted. I want to keep playing. And it's one of those things where he might not, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have demanded saying, I want to play more. He just probably say, look, I need to play more games. Like, I need to be more involved next season. And John Messino and Rich Hughes probably like, look, we just can't guarantee it. So they probably shook hands. Well, if you look at Talk Sport, they made it out as if like we've done him over. But I'm sure, because from what players say about John Messino and stuff like that, he's not the type of guy that would just fob someone off. They've obviously just had a decent conversation, like men, shook each other's hands, say, look, let's wish each other the best. And I'm sure Richie, like being a Pompey boy and how much he loves the club, he wouldn't put the club into any like disrepute like that. He would understand, I would think. But yeah, it is a shame. But as you said, with his age, like the way Messino might want to play next season, like he might look down a different avenue. And if you believe the money that Richie's on, can you have a player that isn't playing every week on that kind of money? I don't think so. But it is a massive shame. Like I'd have loved him to stay again for another season. But if he wants to play more football, then obviously he needs to go elsewhere. And like I hope wherever he goes, he absolutely smashes it.
Yeah, when it broke, I probably was probably the only Pompey fan that was like, yeah, all right then. Like it didn't bother me. I ain't gonna lie. Like brilliant for us last season, but eventually we got to point that in as well. But I just thought I couldn't see him playing much anyway. We already knew how Messino rates Blair at the moment. So once he gets fit, like I was thinking, if we're going to get a new right winger and he really rates Blair, how many games is he going to get? So yeah, so unless he was happy to just sit around and just be part of the club,
I would assume that Regan Poole will become the vice captain and will basically captain the squad most weeks, because Pack again isn't going to be playing week in, week out. We didn't really see him as much, did we, in the second? That once the centre halves became fit again, he kind of lost his place in that midfield. Dazelle and Potts were ahead, and I would probably say that Leroux, Koznovsky, and Swift is probably the three midfield. But well, and that's even without Lang. So who's going to get the armband? For me, it would be Regan Poole.
Yeah, I'd probably say Paul is probably the next natural choice, isn't it? Or Shotnessy? Would Shotnessy be?
Is he guaranteed to start though? Paul is guaranteed for me. He's a guaranteed starter.
I just think it'd be Paul and Shotnessy as your back two next season, would it not? Unless Bauer comes and does a madness.
But if you want to have a proper actual left footer on that left side, then you would go Bauer. Obviously, we know Shotnessy can play there, but it depends if.
Me personally, until I see Bauer, I have to go Paul Shotnessy.
Yeah.
Jury's out on Bauer at the moment. You know, it's a bit like Paul.
Again, he's basically a new signing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can kind of
because no one's seen him. No one knows what he's like.
No, definitely not. So and I can't wait to see him. There's no qualm on him.
No.
If I right now if I for a game had to pick my best 11 for Pompey and it was up to me, I'd have to have Paul Shotnessy. Right. Anything else you want to talk about transfers before we move on?
I think so. I just think we're kind of just a bit used, as I said earlier, we're all used to being a bit fast paced, where we have such high squad turnovers. This season's not like it, and now some fans are just shitting the bed a bit, going, "No, I don't like it." Doesn't need to be like it. We're not here to sign 10 to 15 players this year. That's not what we need to do.
It might be worse next season, to the point where if we're signing all permanents now and then you're just supplementing it with loans, if we do well, you probably only go, right, okay, well, maybe we only need...
We're also being run as a better football club, because now under the PST, and probably only until really Rich Hughes has arrived, we're only whacking out 1-2 year deals, on a very odd occasion 3-year deals to players. So your turnover of players is automatically going to be higher because you're constantly going through them. Whereas now we're giving out 3.5, 4-year deals to some of these players, which is fucking great, because it means you're tying them down for longer, and it means that there's still a sell-on value. If it goes to shit, you can still claw some kind of money back, rather than they end up leaving for free. So because you've got more players on longer deals, you are going to be signing less players.
And also, like, it should, like, if you want quality over quantity, it should take you a bit longer, and it should be hard to get these players in, because like one or two other clubs might be interested in them. I mean, if you believe the reports, stuff like that, Sheffield United were having a look at Mark, so was Blackburn. If obviously we're looking at Pell Matson, obviously we don't think that's going to happen now, but you had the likes of Norwich and is it Nuremberg as well? I think we're looking at him. Is that who else it was? Can't remember. So it's if you want better players, it's going to be tough to get these players in, and you have to be a little bit patient. Like as Messino said, they could have had 6 players in. Like there were options out there which they looked at and thought, yeah, we could get them in if you want to, but they're not going to make us any better. Like
I fully trust them. Sorry, mate. I was going to say, he's right. You could get players in it's not about getting bodies. It's about making the first team better and making the gap between the subs and the reserves and the first team smaller, which is what I've said about constantly. And I fully trust Messino, Hughes, and the recruitment team to do it. We've had, since Hughes has been here, we've had a hell of a lot more hits than misses. We have had the odd occasional one. Scully could you really have foreseeing that he was going to just get injured constantly? Not really. Gavin White, again, you couldn't have seen that he was going to have, he was going to be homesick, and because his family were back in Ireland, you couldn't have seen that was going to affect him at the time.
That one was more of a Messino signing, wasn't it? That was his best mate.
Yeah, it was. But again, like, you can't. It might have worked out, it might not. The same with Sammy Silvera last year. It could have worked, it didn't. But we've had more hits than misses.
Yeah.
So
I think we should. You know what? I think we should do that one week. I think we should get all Hughes' signings, and we have to decide if they're hit or misses.
Yeah. The thing is as well, like I've seen a few people like say, just go and pay the money, just go and do it. But
it's not Football Manager.
but yeah, exactly. But we have done that as well. But the players have just chosen other clubs. Like, you can't just go and do that. Like, no matter, like, I mean, there was this thing, wasn't there, ages ago about geography and stuff like that, and players that don't want to move down to like somewhere like Pompey because it's out of the way. That's absolutely true. If they've got one or two clubs, like especially like around the Manchester and that area, you've got so many clubs up there. If you've got one or two up there that's offering a deal for a player that's already up that way, they're going to want to stay up there. Like, they might take a little bit less money to stay up there. So it's not just the case of, right, I'm going to go there and pay this mate, he's going to come down because I've paid the money. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Well,
like, you're dealing with human beings that have got lives outside of football as well, who have got some lads have young families. They're not all going to be like Rob Atkinson, who didn't have to move that far to move his family down, because obviously Bristol's what, an hour and a half, 2 hours away, where if you're up past Manchester, like, you're talking what, 3-4 hours to get down, like 4 hours more likely, isn't it? So it's not as easy. Sometimes we just have to be a little bit patient, and I'm more than happy being patient this season because, as we said, we've already got those foundations in place.
Yeah, well said. Right. I think we need to just quickly go over this week. Obviously, Andy Redmond's left, and so has Tony Brown. Obviously, Twitter's on its full course of putting 2 and 2 together and getting 12,769. My understanding is with Andy Redmond, he's gone to a company that owns Brentford. Is that right?
Yeah, they've
So he has to step down.
Small investment companies become the CEO of that, who have taken, I think it's like 12 or 15% of Brentford. So
yeah,
you can't be involved. It'd be multi-club, wouldn't it? So you can't do that. So
and with Tony Brown, he's been with us 12 years. He was even before the Eisners were here.
it was when the PST took over.
Exactly. So I personally don't see any alarms. Do either of you?
No, not really. Like,
No.
two guys just go and get another job. Like, it happens. As you said, with Tony Brown, it's Tony Brown, isn't it? Yeah. He's worked at the club for 12 years. Might just want a new challenge. I don't know. You got people written their conspiracy theories out there, but unless you're in the room and you know him, like, we're not going to know, are we? Unless he comes out and says it. And then obviously with Andy Redmayne, like, obviously I don't know how much involvement he had in the club. We didn't really hear a lot from him because obviously Cullen and Hughes are the ones that sort of do most of that stuff behind the scenes. But I mean, him going to Brentford, I don't know how well that could help us regarding potential, like, sort of players on loan and that kind of stuff. Just say we wanted that Paris Magoma, like, don't know if him being at Brentford now could help us with that. But yeah, unless something comes out in the news like this, which is some kind of like bad reason they've gone, I'll just choose to believe that they've gone just because that's life. You get new jobs.
Yeah, I honestly don't think there's anything more to say about it personally, other than hope to wish them both well and thank you for what they've done for the club.
Just a quick one. We've had a comment. Swinney thinks that Messino will dip into the Palace under-21 squad as he's watched them a lot.
Yeah. Well,
that's a good point. He has, yeah.
I've he's a guy called his Twitter handle is HTLCO.
Yep. Yeah. He's the big, well-known Palace fan.
Yeah. Because me and him, because he messaged me because I put something on about Stephen Parrish and Simon Parrish, whatever his name is, I can't remember.
Steve Parrish.
Steve Parrish, about something he said, and he messaged me and just asked me about it. Just say, "Oh, have you got the quote?" And obviously, I sent it to him, and then we just got chatting, and I was asking him about is it Mustafa? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's the one we've been linked with.
And he was saying, because I was also saying about Raksaki, and he said that this Mustafa has got a higher ceiling than Raksaki, and he said he loves him, so he would love him to go to Pompey because the Joel Ward connection with Pompey and Palace. And yeah, he said he would let me know if he hears anything. So if he lets me know, I'll let you know. I'll be at ITK, by the way. I'll be in the know.
He's gonna just make shit up now.
Nah, like, when I was chatting to him, he seemed like a generally nice guy. So
you're not gonna grind my gears, are you, Daz?
Well, I might do.
I saw Steve Parrish and Michael Eisner cuddling at the Village Hotel.
Brilliant. Right. So, boys, shall we do our championship predictions?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. So we're not gonna do every single position in the league because I honestly think you're sad if you do that because you're never gonna get that, are you?
We did it last year, mate.
Not every position. Not like one.
We did, didn't we?
No,
I don't think so.
No, top six. Bottom.
Who have you been talking to? If you've been
my other podcast, I do.
So we're gonna do top six. We go 6-1. Then we do our dark horse, our underachievers, and our bottom three, and where we think Pompey will be if they're not already in first position, obviously. So, Daz, Give me your 6th position in the playoffs.
Do you know what? This, like, the relegation and that sort of stuff was easy. Apart from the
I
first
found
position,
it really hard, the playoff thing.
I was really struggling because obviously this is, I mean, given away, but this team are going to be on another mention as we go on. But in 6th, I've put Millwall sneaking in there. I think if they can continue, although because I thought they were relatively unlucky not to sort of have a proper go at the playoffs. I think with their home form and if they can build on and keep hold of that advantage, do you know what? I think they've got a chance.
Interesting.
Not a bad shout.
Who have you got 6th?
They're also my dark horse. Is Birmingham.
Okay.
I know it's pretty rogue, but I think the players that they're signing are pretty good, and I think they are coming up spending quite a bit of money, like they did in League One. Yeah, I think they'll be in and around there. I think they could genuinely get in there.
No reason not to. My 6th is, funny enough, Millwall.
Well, hey,
I honestly think they can, and I really, really want Millwall to get in the Premier League. I just think it would just fuck the whole Premier League up.
it'd be brilliant. I've got a couple of Millwall mates, and they would love it. It'd be so funny.
I just think every Premier League team is just going to go shit if they got promoted, and I'm here for it. So I think they could do it, and I want it to happen at the same time. So they get my 6th. Daz, back to you. Your 5th.
I was umming and ahhing whether to put them in the playoffs, but even though I really dislike them, I'm a supporter of them now. Apparently, I just think with the squad.
Apparently, we've all seen the evidence.
Yeah, I put Scummers in at 5th.
Ugh,
I know.
Dustin. I actually personally think you put them quite low, but there we go.
Well, that's the thing. Obviously with Will Steele, you don't know what you're getting from him yet, and also you don't.
Will still reach the playoffs.
Yeah, well, you don't know where they're going to be at the end of the transfer window. So
a lot, obviously, making this clear, we might. I don't know. It's up to you boys. Is this our official one, or can we jiggle it once?
No. This is it, mate.
This is it.
Straight,
Yeah.
this is it.
Things can change. If Scum all of a sudden lost, like Tyler Diblin and others, then my prediction is going to be completely wrong. But carry on. Who have you got 5th?
Norwich.
Really?
I think Liam Manning. He did all right. Obviously, I know he keeps jumping ship. So if someone else comes in for him, then he'll probably leave. But I think he'll do. I think he'll do all right at Norwich. I think that's where he'll set. I generally think he might settle there. And it's heavily based on if they keep Josh Sargent. I feel like if they lose him because Wolfsburg pulled out.
I thought he rejected them. No,
or did he reject them in the end?
Well, the way Norwich fans were saying is if he rejected them because apparently he wants to go to a bigger club or something like that.
It's not many clubs bigger than Wolfsburg, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. But then I don't know if it was just like Norwich because I was trying to see if anything was said about Matterton and I stumbled across all this Sargent talk.
Well, if he manages to stay, then I think they'll do all right. But if he goes, then they probably won't get that high.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's hard with these predictions doing it when we are. We probably should have waited to the end, but fuck it. My 5th, I've gone for Birmingham. I honestly think they'll be out there. I'll be shocked if they're not, personally. They might even be higher. They're scaring me, the signings they're making. It's just like another Ipswich, isn't it? Not really much to say other than I just think they're just good. I don't think they're finished either, which is even more scary.
No.
Dad's 4th.
I had Birmingham. I was umming and ahhing whether to put Birmingham into second place, but
yeah, I thought about it and then I dropped them a bit.
Yeah, so did I. So I'm going to go with Birmingham 4th.
Fair enough.
Coventry. I think that they got pretty close last year, didn't they? And They've kind of made a good signing in Kesler Hayden from Villa on a permanent. I think that's a good signing for them.
Yeah, it's really good.
Super Frank's got him playing some good football.
Underrated. I still say he's an underrated manager. People laugh at him.
It's probably his level, to be honest. But
yeah, but I mean, but people still think he's like a shit manager like Rooney. I mean,
well, yeah,
he's better than Rooney.
oh yeah, mate, you're probably better than Rooney.
God, that's the first time anyone's ever said I'm better than Rooney at anything.
clip it up, and never stop playing it.
And I'm listening to that every day of my
life. Yeah, I think they might kick on. I think they'll do all right, and they'll get into the playoffs again.
Well, funny enough, in my fault, I've got Coventry for pretty much the same reasons. I really, I'm so shit at names, but the signing you mentioned that I thought was a very good signing for them. And as I said, I still think Frank's a decent enough manager. I think he gets far too much stick than what he deserves. Third, then Daz.
I've got Coventry in third.
We're pretty much all on the same sort of lines here, aren't we?
Yeah. The thing is, it was really tough. So I was really like, I've scribbled teams out, put them in, took them out, like that kind of thing. So yeah, I think Coventry with what they've got, if they can just add a few more, yeah, I think they'll be up there.
Who am I going third?
Third, yeah.
Scum. Not good enough to go up automatically because we're going to beat them and they're going to miss out by 3 points because we're going to beat them at Fratton Park.
6 points.
We ain't going to beat them at St. Fary's.
Yes, we are, mate.
Don't get your hopes up.
Ignore Daz in his scum ways.
As long as we don't, if we lost away but we won at home, I'll take it.
Oh God, yeah, they take that all day long.
But we're going to stop them from going up automatically, and they're going to lose out, and they come third. They've just got parachute payments. They've got supposed Premier League quality players. Whether they keep, like Matheus Fernandes, Tyler Dibbling, they've still got top end Championship players, and I think they'll still have enough to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, funny enough, same third. I've got Scum. I put them below because I just think they're going to lose 1 or 2. If they lose more than that, then I think they might not even get in the playoffs. So yeah, I totally agree. I don't think they're good enough to go up, but I do think they'll be in thereabouts. Second, Daz.
I was really umming and ahhing with this, but I've put in Sheffield United. I know, obviously, their new coach and stuff like that, but I just think they, apart from the players they've lost on loan, they've still got likes of like Gus Harmer and that lot at the moment. So if they lost him and things like players like that, I would probably change it a little bit. But with the squad they've got at the moment, I think they'll add to it. They've got the money and that sort of stuff, haven't they? And they've got a good foundation. I think they might just come second.
Fair enough. Has your second?
Ipswich.
Ooh.
Again, they've come down. They've got parachute payments. They basically signed a Championship super team with players like Amari Hutchinson. I know was he gone now?
Brentford are interested, don't they?
He'll probably go, but you've got you've got some top. You've got like players like Jack Clark who are going to play more. George Hurst has just signed a new
that was a big for them getting him under contract.
New 3-year deal, I think, with them, and he's probably going to be a starting player for him.
Semi, I can never say his name. Semi
Schmogic.
He's going to be electric again.
Again, back in the Championship is where they're probably most efficient. So I think they'll be up
there. Second, I've gone Sheffield United. Funny enough, that's you literally what I was going to say. You've already said. They've still got a really top quality squad. I know Ruben Sellers hasn't really done anything anywhere, but I just think he's always been at shit teams, isn't he? Where it'd be interesting to see what he can do with a good squad. Like, I just think I think they'll be up there.
Yeah, and also if you look at the job Sellers did with Reading,
yeah,
he did a really good job there. He got them going, didn't he? So
and Hull.
Yeah, although I think Hull sort
But
of.
I personally think he got a bit lucky with Hull, but
Yeah, so do I.
they are shit.
Well,
so-
only because we decided once we made it 1-1, we couldn't be fucked to play anymore.
Yeah,
If we pushed for another one, we'd have got it.
Oh yeah,
And also, I think he did a cracking job at Scummers as well. Though I thought he did his best work. I think that was there.
Exactly. He's always going to be a Pompey hero. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. When people saying about booing him, I was like, we should be.
No, I don't boo him. I love him.
He should be going in the Hall of Fame.
I would have held him in my arms ever so gently if I'd seen him.
Right, champions for you then, Daz?
I think this team are going to run away with it, to be honest. I think it's going to be Ipswich. I think they've got the absolute base. The fact that obviously they've moved on Liam Delap. I don't think it's going to be as big as a hit on them in the Championship than it would have been if they didn't have him in the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that money. But as we said, Schmodix, Chaplin, basically players that are very, very top end championship teams. I think they could really run away with it. It wouldn't surprise me if they got close to sort of record breaking points and stuff like that. Because as long as McKenna stays there, I think they're going to have a real good go at it. I think.
Who's your champions?
My champions are Sheffield United. I think they've got a really good squad. They're building on top of what Chris Wilder left them. I think it's bizarre that he got sacked anyway, again. But I think Seles, despite the fact he was a scummer, he's actually a decent manager, and I think he deserves a chance at a bigger club with better finances to actually have a go. You know, getting Louis Barry as a permanent is a really good move. And I think just like the second year of parachute payments, I think they'll be up there. I think it'll be close between Ipswich and Sheffield United, but I think Sheffield United kind of beat them by probably 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, I agree. I've gone Ipswich as champions. I agree with Daz. I think they could run away with it. Who? I think me and you, Daz, have got the same 6, but just a couple of them in the wrong order.
I think so. Yeah.
And I think you pretty much got 5 of the 6 that we've all.
Yeah, the only one I've got is Norwich, and you've got Millwall, but the rest of them we've all got the same, just in different orders.
And to be fair, I did have Norwich was one of the teams I put in and scribbled out just because, as has said, I think they've made some decent signings and things like that. But I just think maybe it might take Liam Manning just a little bit too long to get him going to sort of maybe finish up towards the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah. So dark horses then. Who are you got down, Daz?
Well, as I mentioned at the start of this, I put Millwall in 6th. So for me, it's going to be Millwall.
Okay, fair enough. Who's your dark horse?
Birmingham.
Oh yeah, you already said. Yep. My dark horse, funny enough, is Norwich. I was humming around between Millwall and Norwich, but where I want Millwall to get 6th, I ended up. So whoever was going to be out of the playoffs was going to be the dark horse. I ended on Norwich being the dark horse. Underachievers, Daz.
Well, I put this team down, but as underachievers, they're starting the season because I'm pretty. Leicester are starting with 9 points deduction, aren't they? Are they actually? Is that happening?
I don't think that's confirmed yet.
No, but if they do,
that's expected, but it's not official.
No, but if they do, and I think they're sort of a little bit all over the place. And obviously, if you're not putting Leicester in my top 6, then in my eyes they're underachieving. So especially if they get the 9-point deduction as well. I think they're a bit all over the place at the moment. So for me, it's Leicester underachievers.
Yeah, I'm the same. Leicester suffering with FFP and having that, they will have a points deduction even if it's reduced to -4 or 5. I don't rate Marcy Cifuentes as their manager. I think that's really, really underwhelming for them. I think he did all right at QPR, but for a club like Leicester, I think that's a really shit appointment. And I think they could have done a lot better than that. And I think they'll end up sacking him before Christmas, probably November. They won't do it. They'll be probably lower to mid-table to close to relegation. They'll sack him. Someone else will come in and kind of save them, but it's still underachieving because they'll be expecting a bare minimum of playoffs.
Well, yeah, with or without points deduction, I've actually got them to be another Luton, especially if they get the 9 points. Maybe not necessarily go down, but be like you said, in the relegation sort of area. I've kind of got 2, but they're not. I won't class it as underachievers. I just want to know your boys' points. I'll tell you what, we'll do the bottom 3, and then I'll bring it up because you might have this within your bottom 3. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Daz, should we go Has this time for the bottom 3? Do you want to go 24th or do you want to go?
No, we'll go the other way.
You want to go the other way? So you want to go 22nd? Yeah.
Yeah.
So who have you got 22nd?
Wrexham.
Okay. Yep.
I think they're just. I don't think they're having a good summer. Personally, for me, they're not. Yeah, okay, they signed Ryan Hardy, but Windass, he was kind of slowing down at Wednesday. You're signing him. Danny Ward again, absolute dog shit keeper, and he's not going to be keeping you in the Championship. So it doesn't feel like it feels like they've lost that kind of flair that they had coming up through League 2 and League 1. It feels like that's kind of died out a little bit with the kind of that wow factor. Yeah, I don't think they'll survive.
Fair enough. Daz?
22nd, I've gone Hull City. Out the 2 I put below them, I think I'm kind of regretting this now because I think maybe I should put Hull City 23rd, but I'm going to go with it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Hull City 22nd. I mean, I know they've got obviously their transfer embargo, which I mean, I know we want Abu Kamara, don't we? But I think that makes it harder to get a player like that out there because they can't replace him. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to add any quality that will
The embargo's lifted again.
Oh, is it?
It's because they keep getting done for different things. It gets lifted, then put back on, then lifted, and then put back on.
But that's the thing. Like, if players are seeing that, are they gonna? Are the sort of players that are going to keep you up? Will they want to go? I know you could offer them money, but is that money they're not like definitely guaranteed? Are they gonna like? Is a player going to want to go there if they're not guaranteed?
It's just Sheffield Wednesday that are currently under an embargo.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can still stick by it, even with the embargo lifted a bit, because as I said,
Hull still have a transfer fee restriction.
Right.
So there's obviously a limit on how much they can spend on a player, but they are allowed to sign players for money, whereas Wednesday can't.
No. Yeah, but I still think maybe players might look at that and think, am I going to guarantee to get paid every week? So yeah, I'm still going to go with Hull City 22nd.
I've gone for Preston. It was there before everything happened with Lang, but they just pissed me off as a club. They were shit last season. They're going to be even shitter next season. I generally couldn't believe they didn't finish in the bottom 3 anyway. I can't see them improving. Yeah, they're shit. They're going down. Put it that way.
No hatred there, is there?
No. And it's got nothing to do with Lang. If you listen to the last season, everyone knows that I've got no time for Preston. 23rd has.
That's where I've put Hull. Much the same reasons as Daz. I won't repeat it because people are going to be bored of hearing the same thing. So basically, Daz put one place below.
Yep. Daz?
I've gone one below you, Russ, and I've put Preston in at 23rd. I know they've just got what's his face up, Michael Smith up the top, but I don't think they got enough. They haven't improved enough overall. So yeah, I think. Well, I'm hoping their luck will run out, especially if the whole debacle over Lang.
I think we can all pretty much say we've all got the same bottom 3 now, yeah? Well, maybe not the same because you've got Wrexham, everybody has, but bottom 2, Hull, I've got, and I'm assuming we've all gone for.
Hold on. Shall we, on 3, all say the team we think will finish 24th?
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Sheffield
Pompey.
I knew one of you.
I was up in an iron, but
No, yeah, it is Sheffield Wednesday. It's pretty much nailed on, isn't it? They can't sign anyone. Their manager doesn't want to be there. He's not even taking training.
I believe that he pissed people off because he left and then come back, didn't he? And it's sort of,
Well, he basically left and went. Do you remember when Michael Smith went working for Cambridge?
yeah,
And it's what Cifuentes did, didn't he? He went working for another job.
yeah.
He's basically went working for the Leicester job and then got told to fuck off, and then had to go back to Wednesday. And the players didn't like the fact that he basically was going, and then he's had to come back, but he doesn't want to be there.
It's not going to be good, is it?
You've had obviously Windass and Smith tore up their contracts. Barry Bannon's training there when he's not actually under contract and he's not getting paid, but he's still turning up for training. Don't know why, weird bastard. I just think they're selling. They sold Gassama to Rangers for $2.5 million, which is massively undervalued, but they need to get rid. They've lost Bailey Cadamarteri to Man City Academy. They're one of their biggest prospects in years. Again, sold for, we don't know what it is, but you can know it's going to be pennies because he's only a teenager still. I just think they're fucked. They could potentially go into administration mid-season.
Yeah.
Their takeover was supposedly on the cards, and then all of a sudden it fell through. Their North Stand has been shut down, or part of it's been shut down by Sheffield Council because it's not safe.
That has their owner written all across it. I love that.
Yeah, imagine if I know some people don't like the Eisners, but can you imagine if they put the Eisners into the seating?
I want them to.
well, as I put that picture up on our group, it should be the Eisner, the plain banner.
Yeah.
What ambition and plan.
Yeah, it should be across the seat.
Yeah. But at the same
That's
time,
what I do.
Sheffield Wednesday is we've been in this position, horrible place to be in, big club, good fan base. It doesn't matter the size of club and fan base. It's not nice when it happens to anyone, even when it happened with Bury.
Unless it's MK Dons or Forest Green.
Yeah, but they're not proper football clubs, are they? They're just franchises, aren't they, or something like that. It's sad. It's a sad thing, but it's the reality of it is I can't see them not finishing 24th unless some Saudi billionaire comes along, buys them, and sorts them out, which is very unlikely.
Is there a world that they don't actually finish the season? Are they in that much?
I don't know how deep they're in trouble.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Because if there's more players that haven't been paid after 3 months of non-payment, if that keeps happening, they can all leave, and they have the legal right to then tear up their contracts and tell them to fuck off. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to not be able to fund, but they're not going to be able to field players. They're going to end up literally fielding like the under-15s.
Well, you might have a sit like Bolton did, didn't they? They fielded like nippers, all like under-18 players.
Yeah,
much,
it depends on. It all depends on how much money he owes. Obviously, they can't afford to run the football club, but how much actual debt and how much do they owe to the creditors on top?
Yeah.
Because if they've got basically no debt, which we know they do, because they already got in trouble before, because he sold the stadium to himself for 60 million to try and get out of trouble, and then got given a -9 points difference for it. So he's done it before, so he'd probably try something again, but he has no care for those fans, does he? He just doesn't give a shit. He's told them if they don't like him, they shouldn't turn up. They shouldn't be allowed to protest. So, which I appreciate. As an owner, it is your money. However,
football clubs belong to fans, not
you are a custodian of a club. The club really always will belong to the fans.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep a healthy club and a good club, you should listen. Not always go with what the fans want, because a lot of us aren't businessmen. We don't own multi-million, multi-billion pound companies. However, fans have a voice, and basically alienating your own fan base and telling them to fuck off because you don't like what they've got to say to you isn't a way to deal with it. So unfortunately, I think they will go, but hopefully they will stop in League One again, like they did before. and they won't keep going and going down like Bury and Scunthorpe, really.
And you got Morecambe as well. They're in a really bad situation at the moment.
That's looking like it's getting sold, though. I think.
Well, not from what I listened to a podcast the other day, and they had the price of football. They had women on there, and the guy his name's Whittingham, who's the guy who runs the club.
You literally just said Whittingham and Guy, but the wrong way round.
Oh yeah. That's what I just realised.
The Whittingham guy.
Yeah, and he he basically whenever he comes out and says there's something on the table, I'll let you know in the next 24 hours. Next 24 hours rolls along and there's nothing. Apparently he is like a right arsehole, same as obviously Chansiri by the looks of it. Obviously there are different levels of like money and things like that, but it's still the same, and it's sad to see. Like I said, we've been in that position, so any like the true fans, even if like it happens to them not down the road, like because we still want like a rivalry with them, don't we? So you don't want them to go out of existence. You just want them to have a shit time half the time.
All the time.
All the time.
You're a really hard scammer.
But so we've been in that situation. So like it doesn't matter if like Morecambe, they've got like 5,000 fans, or if you've got Sheffield Wednesday, who've got a lot more than that. We know how much our club means to us, so it must be really horrible for them, and I do hope it gets sorted out for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Before moving on to where Pompey predict, so when I said I had 2 underachievers, and I'm glad I didn't say it because you got them, Harry. I didn't know how to word it, but basically, like Wrexham, I'm seeing people put them like near the playoffs. I'm seeing they are 10th favourites to win the league.
Right.
I honestly think there's a chance they go down because I've looked at their squad and it is shite. Ryan Hardy, fine, yes, he scores against us all the time. He's shite. I'm sorry, but he really is shite. He only turns up at Fratton Park doing. And Josh Widders, it's a decent signing, but is he going to make the difference? The rest of the team,
they've just signed Lewis O'Brien, haven't they? As well from.
They're one of them where if they got relegated, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
I think they'll stay up, but because underachievers, I wasn't going to put them in as underachievers because I just think
that's what I meant. I thought they're not underachieving, but
no, I just finished. They'll finish where they finish.
But people were expecting them to be. Maybe I could have done like who's the most overrated team in the league, and that would be Wrexham because as I said, they're 10th favourites to win the league.
Well, that's the whole Hollywood thing. Because Parkinson, I don't think he's a good manager. Like he's not managed higher than I think he's managed the Championship, but I don't think he did very well. I think the only reason he's taken up these leagues is because he's had the money and the best players. He's had players that shouldn't be in that league. He should be playing 2 divisions above. So I don't think he's a particularly good manager. His brand of football is pretty bad. I don't think they've got enough players. Like if Birmingham finished outside the playoffs, I would say they're underachieving because of the money they spend. Not just the money they're spending, but they're spending it on. Is it Tommy Doyle? Great little player. Like players like that. That's who they've gone for. With Wrexham, they're going again for the players they would have gone for in League One, as in
good for League One.
Yeah, but the potential isn't there. Like that Tommy Doyle, he's got potential to push on. He could be a Premier League player. With the players they're bringing into Wrexham, like the middle of the Championship is probably their ceiling for me.
Yeah, well, they're a team where if they finish mid-table, I probably wouldn't be surprised if they finish bottom 3. I don't quite know where to put them, but when I'm seeing people, everyone's starting doing their predictions now, and I'm seeing people put them in the playoffs. I'm seeing people putting them 8th. I'm seeing, like I said, 10th favourites to win the league, and I'm like, really? This? I'll kind of be disappointed if we finish below them.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, they didn't win the league last season, didn't they? And they didn't win. Did they win League 2? I don't know if they won League 2 or not. I can't remember.
But I don't think
they particularly won or ran away with the leagues when they've won it. It's kind of gone down to the wire. So with the players and the money they have, they should have been running away for it, with it in League Two. And I mean, now someone will say, "Oh, they did win it by 2,000 points," but in League One, they didn't. They only finished second.
There, they probably wouldn't run away with it.
Huh?
If Birmingham weren't in League One last season, they probably would have run away with it.
But that's the thing. I don't know. I don't think Wrexham exactly finished. They finished second, didn't they?
Let's have a look.
But I don't think they finished second, until latter part, real towards the end of the season. I think so. It wasn't like they did run away with it. They weren't ridiculous amount of points away from the teams in the champion in the playoff.
So they finished 5 points ahead of Stockport last season.
Yeah, which with the players they had, you had Terry Rodriguez and Sam Smith up top, or players like that. They should have been finishing more than 5 points clear of Stockport.
Right.
Surely
They finished below Stockport in League Two.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I don't they haven't exactly run away with it in those divisions. So
2 points clear of Mansfield in third.
Yeah.
So, Haz, you get the opportunity to give.
Hang on, what are your 2 underachievers then?
My actual underachievers is Leicester. We all went Leicester, didn't we?
Yeah.
But as I said, I didn't quite know how to word Wrexham because I just felt like everyone. But I think I should. They should be called overrated because everyone else just seems to be having them, as I said, playoffs and 8th, and I just don't get it. As I said, I'll be upset if they finish above us. At the moment, obviously, come August, they might turn around and sign all these players, and you go, "Oh, fucking hell, doing." But at the moment, I just think they got a League One team.
Yeah.
I actually also think if Sheffield Wednesday and Hull were in the positions they were in, I probably would definitely put them in my bottom 3. Anyway, right, so Haz, you get to decide. Well, not decide, but you get to say your Pompey prediction. You would be the first one. Where have you got us?
Slap bang in the middle in 12th.
That's fair enough.
I think it's an improvement. I think we'll end up with a bigger points tally than last year. I think if we can get to 60, 65 points, again, it's an improvement on last year. We haven't got the facilities to be able to be pushing for playoffs unless you get lucky.
Yeah.
Unless you build. I have to say, with the fixtures, I don't think there's a really hard run. I think in October you've got a couple of tricky ones.
Well, as I said, I think when we did like a random one a few weeks, about a month ago, where it wasn't a proper episode, I remember saying actually our opening away fixtures are very hard. Other than that, you're right. There's not much.
Yeah, there's no real run that you think, oh fuck, that's really bad. But I think we'll improve. We've got a better squad, I think, already, and we've still got more players to add. I think as long as we can keep improving, you get 60, 65 points. Following season, you push from 65 to 70. It's about seeing what we can do. So as long as we finish, I don't really care. As long as we stay up again, to be honest, but I would like to see an improvement. So 12.
Daz?
What did I do? Well, so my thoughts were between 12th and 14th.
Pick a number.
Which one are you going for?
Yeah, I'm just going with my explanation. Because we finished 16th last season, didn't we?
15th, wasn't
it? 15th?
For God's sake. How do we not know where our own club finished? Hang on.
No, I thought we finished 16th.
16th sounds right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Scammer.
I'm going to be quite not the word sensible, but sort of back a bit. I'm just going to go for 14th. I think
16th last season. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of positions higher. Again, I think for me, it's definitely about the main aim is staying up, but staying up comfortably. And I know we stayed up quite comfortably last season, but maybe if we could finish mathematically safe with an extra game or 2 extra games left to go in the season, I think that could I'm a very wary fan when it comes to, especially in the Championship, where it's such a difficult league and the amount of money that's flying around and the players that can come in and out of that league. I'm going to go with us 14th.
Funny enough, that's where I've got us. I almost went 12th, and I thought I might just take one off, then realised I don't like to have us finish 13th for some reason. Just didn't sit right. So I decided on 14th. I'll take that. I'll take anything. I'll be disappointed if we're in a relegation scrap, like near the end. Like I can understand maybe certain points we might be a bit down there, but come March, if we're still down there, would you say that's a disappointing season if we stay up at 20th?
More frustrating, I think.
Backwards when we
it depends on like context, doesn't it? Like that the context is really important. Like if you said where we're at now, say we had a fully fit squad and we still finished 20th, it would be disappointing. Like I'd be happy we stayed up, but also at the same time, I would like to have kicked on a little bit. That's why I put us 14th instead of like 12th or 10th or something like that, because I think that's just a slow, like incremental increase. That it's not going over the top. It's just sort of doable. I would think if we finished 20th and the context was that we were just not very good, it's not ideal for me.
Would you agree with that, Haz? Would you say that's fair from Daz?
Yeah, I think so. I think the aim again, probably this season and next season as well, should still be to stay up. Is a realistic first goal. I don't know, a lot of clubs say that, but it's all about consolidating our place in the Championship for 3, 4, 5 years before we think about let's go for playoffs and winning the league or whatever. It's a tough league. This year you've got the likes of, obviously we've said about Wrexham, but they've nonetheless they've still got money. Wrexham have got money. Birmingham have got money. Charlton are spending a fair bit as well. The teams that are coming up, yes, okay, you've got to take the advantage of Hull and Sheffield Wednesday, but as long as we stay up, it'll be nice to be improving. And as Daz said, it's all on context. If we end up with half the squad fit again, but we manage to stay for 6 months, but we manage to stay up, brilliant. If no one gets injured and we scrape it by 1 point or on the last day, then you'll be a bit pissed. It'd be nice to finish with a better buffer than we did last year.
Yeah, no, it would be disappointing if, say, the context is, we have a fully fit squad all season. It would be, but then at the same time, I suppose it means we keep Messina because it would be considered a backward step. Or maybe that's why we finished lower, because he's gone. Don't cry, Haz. Right. Unless you've got any other predictions, we can move on to a new feature, which if anyone's seen Family Guy, there's an episode where Peter says things that really grinds his gears. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try and keep it to one subject a week. There's a few things that have happened in this preseason that have really grinded my gears. But the first one I'm going to talk about, which the boys have been laughing at me about in the group chat.
I can't wait for this. I've got some popcorn.
This has been the worst social media transfer window of all time. I generally have had a headache all pre-season. I don't know what's got into everyone. Yes, every fan base has negatives, but this has been on another level. The stuff that happened with Callum Lang was absolutely just like, I couldn't believe it. There were people literally acting like babies about something that some random press fan on a forum completely made up. Not one bit of truth in any of it. And just don't get me wrong, it started off all right. Preston had put a £2 million bid in, Pompey have rejected it. And that was all. That was it, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
To start with, that was from Football League World, wasn't it?
Yeah. A non-reliable source. And, but it brought up a good discussion. We did it as well. And I was going to bring up tonight, if they came back with 4 million, would you say yes? Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want Lang to go, but 4 million, that it's almost like, did Liverpool want, I'm not comparing it because obviously it's completely different, but what you could do with that is similar to how probably Liverpool looked at selling Coutinho them years ago when they also got Van Dijk and Alisson in. You think, well, 4 million, if you could get Kamara and say a Robertson or Maddison in, that does improve you. So why wouldn't you accept it? Then, and there's a few pointed fingers. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to have any fallings out, but there are some people with some good influence who then started bringing up that Preston were offering a player that Lang wanted to go, and they've offered him more money. Now, the bit that didn't make any sense to me, which is why I knew the whole time it was bullshit, was, hang on a minute, so Preston can't afford more than 2 million, but they can afford to offer more wages than we can. Did that make any sense to you, boys?
I don't know. I'm just listening to your rant. It's brilliant. I'm just sitting here smiling and laughing.
The thing is, like, I think I said, didn't I, on the group about the fact that he's agreed terms with Preston, so we've allowed him to agree terms with Preston without.
That's called tapping up.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I thought, like, I can't understand.
The only way that happens is if the Grubs have agreed, yes, we'll sell him to you.
Yeah.
But whilst we're agreeing a fee, you can talk to Lang.
But that's it. Like, and I think what I said, I think I tweeted about it, saying it might be true, it might not. But at the end of the day, you're just choosing to believe a fucking random guy from Preston. But
he gets 5 out of 10 right.
Yeah, but it's like, but if you actually read some of the more of the comments, a lot of people were saying that he doesn't get as much right, and also, like, they were like saying, well, of course we were going to get him. Like, it was like the day before he mentioned it, so it's not like he's getting this information like 2 weeks down the line. He's getting it the day before, which could just happen because he might know someone at the club and go, we're announcing it tomorrow, so there you go. It's just, I don't know. I mean, because it's the same idea as if when, like, when we buy a player and their fans are like, oh, shit, good luck, I'll drive him down for you. Like, and they come down, you're like, actually, they're good for us. And it's the same thing like that, where we have fans here that will say that kind of thing. And I'm like, I just don't agree with you with that. You're just saying it. I don't know whether you're just trying to be funny or trying to get clicks and that kind of stuff. But I don't take random people from like Preston on their word. I think when we spoke about it in the group, I was like, if he wants to go, if that is the case, then I'll be pretty annoyed about this, that, and the other. But that's ifs, buts, and maybes. We were just talking about different scenarios that could happen, and it looks like it was never ever going to sort of get done either.
And then you had Cullen come out and say, and I'm going to put it in layman's terms, of if you really think I'm going to seriously have a comment on something like that, then I'm not lowering myself to that. Basically, fuck off. Yeah.
Exactly, because
right? Everyone went, yeah, but if he wasn't for sale, he would have said it wasn't for sale. He literally is saying that.
Yeah.
If whatever he said, he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. People were like, oh well, if he's not for sale, just say it. It means that there's something in it. If he came out and said Callum Lang is not for sale this summer, then you get a Leicester, a Ipswich, whoever came in and offered us fucking 7, 8, 9 million quid. We're clearly going to take that, and then people go, but you said he wasn't for sale.
Yeah.
So no matter what he said, he was going to get slack. He's basically said, the word he unsubstantiated basically is it's unreliable and untrusted. So
and the thing is,
if Andy Moon had tweeted that,
We
or
were accepted.
or the guys from the news, he wouldn't have said that. It's because it's from some random don on a fucking fan forum. It's just plucked out of the last. And Callum Lang probably is on their list, right?
Yeah, why would he?
Abu Kamara is probably on our list. We probably can't afford him. We'd go in with a low ball offer, like if they did actually bid 2 million for Lang. They've chanced it on the off chance that we might go, yeah, all right then.
Yeah.
But we're not like we've all got people that we want to sign, but it's not realistic.
Yeah, and the way I looked at the way that Cullen answered it, I think Russ, you kind of said something similar. That if he gives a straight out answer to this random person from Preston that has created this rumor, he's gonna have to respond to every single thing that's brought up. Like me and you could start up a rumor that kicks off, and he's gonna be like, "Oh right, I've got to respond to a mate called Darren from Winchester now, have I?" Like. Have I got to respond to every single person that starts a comment? Like,
Oh no, not that scummer.
yeah, exactly. I know what he's up to, pointing at statues' penises. Like, I'm not gonna, because he shouldn't have to. Like, it's not like there's levels to things, isn't there? Like, the only people he should be responding to are journalists that are respected. Like, if you get I can't remember what the other guy's name is. I'm not gonna say Fabrizio Romano, but
Ornstein.
Pete O'Rourke, is that his name?
Yeah.
See, if he come out with something, then the club might respond to it because obviously he has a following and he seems like a journalist in the know. I can understand that, but not some random guy from Preston.
And then the next stage was, and I said to you boys, the one I want to hear from journalist wise is Alan Nixon, because I know he's got a bit of repetition, get things wrong, but even like Andrew Moon's come on and said, like, things are happening and then they don't, and then it can make you look stupid. And I've seen some Sky Sports people, say the same, where they try and judge when to say something because they do, things just move on and they don't happen. And I said to you, because I don't know if he's based there, but he always seems to get like a lot right from the like Lancaster, Yorkshire area, all that sort of area, sort of Midlands, sort of up north. Like pretty much everything he gets is pretty spot on. He comes out and says it's bullshit. No, he gets things wrong. He's definitely going to Preston. There's something in it. Then you get, I've forgotten his name now, the Preston guy.
Preston CEO.
Yeah, Peter, was it Peter Ridsdale?
Yeah.
He comes out and says there's no truth in it. And then people, because he just says, we are looking at players. Wow, then, clearly Lang's one of them. And it was just like, you've got 3 people telling you it's fucking bullshit. And yet people still believed it was happening because of one dickhead from Preston.
Yeah.
I was like, am I seriously? Like, the meltdown was unbelievable. It was embarrassing.
And
Fair
then
play
apparently,
to the Preston guy. If I'd done that to a fan base, I'd be fucking hard as anything.
I'll put it on my CV.
Exactly. I managed to piss off a whole and make them cry. There was honestly, and as I said, there are some what I'd call high up social media Pompey people that did not help with that at all. Doing.
yeah.
And they're just as much to blame for it because people are going to listen to them.
Yeah, and then Preston apparently came in with 3.7 million, and again that Nixon was like, they haven't got that. They're not going to spend that kind of money.
Their record transfer is 2 million. So they're in their entire club history. So they're not just going to go and double it in one go without any kind of, should we do that?
And then we had it with Swift the week before. Why hasn't he signed? He should be signed by now. He's going to Charlton. Oh, I've heard he's going to Charlton. And the whole fan base in the meltdown, he's going to Charlton. And then literally 10 minutes later, we announced him. And
it's even now you've got with Kozlowski, it's like, it's been quiet a few days. It's like, yes, because you've got the clubs actually finalising all the details. You've got the contract negotiations with him finalising that. You've then got us applying for a work permit. And then it finally came out, was it yesterday or the day before? It was yesterday, wasn't it? That he was on his way over. It's like, he's got to move from fucking Budapest to England. He's got to think of logistics of maybe he's got a partner, maybe he's got a family. what does he bring with him? He's got to pack up his whole life and shift it fucking 1,000 miles away.
And this ain't
It's
January.
not moving from London.
This ain't January or 2 weeks ago in the window. It's fucking July.
He's
And
got
I know
time.
people want them in because, they need to gel. All that is bullshit.
Everyone wants them in early. Every club in the whole world wants all of their players in and all of the ones they want to get rid of gone before they go on their tour. It doesn't happen.
No.
It's not a thing.
This normally our transfer windows on social media are quite fun. I think like Andrew Moon don't go to bed and all that shit. But this has been draining. I don't know how you boys felt.
And then, but that's even
horrendous.
part of it. Is that then people were starting giving them all shit. Like Andy was on, he's on paternity leave.
Yeah.
Jordan Cross was on holiday, getting people
He's
telling him he's
giving
dog shit while he's on holiday.
Yeah. Neil Allen was getting dog shit.
Neil Allen's day off, and it's like, hang on a minute. Surely you should think, if these guys who are local reputable sources aren't saying anything, then maybe we should think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And then Jordan got shit while he's laying on a beach somewhere, and was like, I don't appreciate like what you're saying, and basically had to write an article while he's on fucking holiday to shut everyone up.
It was just it was. I hope it never happens again. But what happened with Lang, and even it was starting with Swift. I'm glad the club just announced him when he did, because I think that would have gone the same way. And with this Hungarian mark, everyone please calm down. If this South African player, which we've seen pictures, he's definitely him. He's definitely here. Again, he's coming from Sweden. It's gonna take time. Everyone, just chill the fuck out. Seriously, just chill. I know it's boring, and it is boring. Like, I've been dying to come back on this podcast because I've been bored as fuck all summer. But everyone, just chill out, because come August, you're gonna forget about all of that. No one goes, "Oh, do you remember that window where we were all squinting over this play?" I mean, yeah. So that's what's really grinding my gears this week.
What's next on the list, Russ?
I'm only doing one. I've got loads, so I'm holding them back because
we're going to do one a week.
Mate, we're going to be we could be here all night.
Well, you've done 13 minutes of ranting, so
yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that because I've got to be careful because I could go on and on. Anyway, right. Next segment, new one. No more Has versus Dads. Trying to think of quiz questions each week was starting to get draining towards the end of the season. So what I've decided to do is sometimes it'll be involving people online. It might just be we might one week do a quiz. Who knows? This week was all about I just wanted your hot takes. Yeah. Annoyingly, I had 4 replies to my tweet, but it's only showing me one, and I can't remember what the others were. So
it's because you changed the tweet, didn't you?
Yeah, but where can I not see the original tweet? Like, I don't know how this works.
I don't know. You're fucking Twitter. You should know.
So, what I'm trying to figure out has. So, hang on, let me start again. So, I asked the boys and Twitter, what's your all-time, so it doesn't have to be current, Pompey hot take? It could be anything. It could be about a player, a team, a manager, a kit, part of the stadium, a game, whatever. What is your all-time Pompey hot take? What is yours?
I completely forgot about this.
For fuck's sake. You must have one on top of you. I've got loads.
Right, you and Daz go then and come back.
Daz?
Well, mine was because I thought it might wind you boys up a little bit.
You're a scammer.
Was actually the kit is actually all right. The Pompey top is actually all right.
Is it a hot take just because it seems I would say on the basis it's probably 70-30 like it?
I think it's all right. It's just bad if you have trypophobia.
Yeah. I'm just bored of it. It's not I dislike. If that was our first night shirt, I probably would be like, "Oh, that's all right." Ooh. I'm just bored of it now. That's my problem. I'm just like,
but
come on.
There is, when you've got a plain blue shirt there is only so much you can do, right?
But that wasn't the case 20 years ago when you had loads of different, like every kit was completely different.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but these companies don't do that, do they?
No. I just think that's why it's probably best to move on from Nike. And I'm a Nike boy. Like I wear Nike every day, pretty much. But just so, like, I'd say every 3 years, I think you should change your supplier, just so at least you get a different feel. You know what I mean?
Well, the second hot take I did have was again with kits, was saying that we should go back to keeping the same kit for 2 seasons.
I actually agree.
Yeah, I do too. That's what Brentford do, isn't it? They alternate every year. It's the 1 year's the home kit, the next year's the away kit, and then they do that for 2 years.
Well, that's it. When did we start going just to one season? Because I was trying to think, because the KJ, the kit we thought we were getting, that was for 2 seasons.
Yeah, I believe the first kit that we didn't keep for 2 years was the first Oakie one. Because we had the Premier League blue with the white triangles on the shoulders for 2 years, didn't we?
Yeah, we did have that one for 2 years. Yeah,
and then we had the first
but before
one,
but before that we didn't.
It was the Jacko one.
Yeah, but the season we got promoted from the Championship, we didn't have that for 2 seasons.
No, but that was if I remember rightly. Harry, I doubt you. God knows how old you were then.
About 4.
About 4, yeah. Wasn't that? Didn't someone design, like a fan design that, and it was always just for 1 year?
I can't remember. But and then the one we did the Great Escape for, that was 1 season, wasn't it?
Great Escape.
Yeah, the one where we stayed up.
Yeah. I think that was the start where everyone was doing it. Everyone just started dropping.
Yeah.
Because then you had the one with the white from the shoulders all the way down. Then you had the one we won the FA Cup. Then you had one of the all blue, and then so on and so forth. Has you got your hot take yet?
No.
You must have a hot take. Everyone has a hot take.
I don't fucking know.
Well,
Kenny Jackett's the best manager ever. I don't know.
You don't mean that, do you? You don't believe that.
Who doesn't love a dinosaur?
Right, I'll give you one. It's the only one I can get. It's really annoying. I had more replies, but Matthew PFC 2001 said, "We look better with blue socks than red socks."
I do like the blue socks every now and again. I do like that, but I think as a permanent, I just don't think we can go away from. I mean, the only reason I was okay with the blue socks for that season after we won the FA Cup was because we had a whole blue kit, and I actually didn't mind that. But I think the red socks are Pompey, aren't they? So.
I think from like a design and an aesthetically pleasing side, yeah. But it's iconic. It's always been blue, white, red. And if you were to remove that, it feels like you're losing a little bit of it, a little bit of the heritage.
I do like if we're playing away from, because obviously these days, even if your socks are the same colour, you have to change the whole kit kind of thing. You're not even allowed to change because of like some restrictions like kit manufacturers have, because obviously they want clubs to play in the full kit so they can sell it. Like they don't like clubs mix and matching anymore like they used to back in the day. Because when I was a kid, like they used to mix and match all the time.
That's why you have a third kit now, isn't it?
Yeah, but so I quite liked it because when what reminds me of the blue white blue is when we played away at Middlesbrough the season after the Great Escape when Canu ran from the halfway line. We played in blue tops, white shorts, blue socks, and that game always sticks out to me when we're playing with blue socks. But yeah, for me, it's got to be red socks. But I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate the blue socks.
Anyone listening now wants to come on and have a hot take or comment a hot take? Let us know.
I've got a hot take for you, and this is
Russ.
a proper hot take. I'm gonna get you boys might even hate me for saying this.
I'm ready to delete you from this podcast.
I've got the other mitts on. Here we go.
Right. My hot take is the coming out to Portsmouth theme and clapping along to it is the shittest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've never clapped along to it.
And it winds me up at every single fucking home game.
Why?
Because I just think it's shit. It's just awful.
Why
If
shit?
another club do that, I guarantee you our fans will be going, what the fucking hell is that? It's shit. I know it's tradition and all that crap. It just what don't help is no one can clap correctly to it. So it just looks shit.
What? That's because all the fucking speakers play at different fucking times because it's a shit PA system.
To be honest,
What do you want them to walk out to instead then?
I don't care. Nothing would do me. I don't care. But
to be honest, for me,
or
I do
come out to it, but just don't clap to it.
Yeah, I like the Mike Oldfield. I like the song coming out to it. Like, I do like that. I mean, each to their own. But I've never clapped along to it.
No,
I've just never.
same here. I
I don't know.
What do you want us to do? So if they play it and we all just stand there, do you want us to stand with our arms folded? Do you want us to salute?
Think about it. We've always come out to that song, and we never. I don't remember doing that when I was a kid, clapping along to that, or even in the Premier League. I don't know when it started and why it started and how it carried on. I love to know what game that or suddenly someone just went, I'm going to clap along to it, everyone else did, and then it just stuck.
Don't be such a miserable old bastard.
Because do you know what reminds me of Mike Oldfield is is it Z Cars where you got Everton who they come out to. It's like that. It's kind of a similar thing, isn't it? It's like a very like niche sort of song, and that clubs come out to. I think Watford come out to it as well, but I would like not to clap along to it. I mean, I don't.
That's like how it used to be. It used to be. It's not necessarily the song don't bother me. It's the clapping along.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what about
the same for me? Yeah.
What about when like Chelsea come out and then they chant Chelsea, or when Sheffield Wednesday come out to Hi Ho Silver Lining and they chant Wednesday? Do you hate that as well?
But the thing is with Chelsea, they don't clap to the whole thing.
It's
just a part of it.
It's the clapping that's just it's tacky.
Yeah,
so
and as I said, with the Chelsea
clap
song,
the team.
It's not the whole song. They don't clap along to the whole song. Then they go Chelsea, and then they go again. But like,
I must admit though, I do find that a little bit corny and all, but I'll take that over our one.
So what about when Wednesday sing Hi Ho Silver Lining? Because they sing the whole first verse. Is that cringy?
No, it's not
the clapping.
It's the clapping that's the issue.
So because someone claps, that's cringy.
No, clapping along to the song.
Oh, for God's sake.
And it don't even clap along with it correctly. Like, I'm literally stood there, turning to my left, that guy's clapping one way, and I look right, and that dickhead over there is clapping another way.
Oh, you miserable old men.
Now, that's a hot take.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't, like, it doesn't bother me a great deal. I just don't clap along to it. I don't know why. I just never have. And it's now for me, it's like my pre-game thing not to do.
Yeah, I've never clapped along it at all. No. If other people do, fine, whatever. But I just find it really cringy.
Yeah, when I've been to games with my other half, I've seen her clap, and I just look at her, I think,
are you really the one for me?
And then she just claps me in the side of the head. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. No, you clap along as much as you like.
Especially if there's no hair, there's no cushion, is there?
No, I'll tell you what though, if anyone listening can tell us whether it's live or if you're listening to on Spotify or whatever, can remember the game this started, because it never used to be a thing, and yet we've always come out to this song. I'd love to know what game started it. I have no idea.
No. That's the thing. As I said, I don't like if people want to clap along. I ain't got a problem with it. It's just I don't do it. And I would like to try it for a game just to see what it sounded like with no one clapping.
Remember, you've been to games. You're a similar age to me.
Yeah, but I can't remember like yesterday.
That's
so
you can't remember anything.
I can't remember my notepad. So. But yeah, it would be interesting to see what it sounded like without not. I mean, people are going to clap when they come out, but as in not clapping along to the song. Like, it'd be interesting to see what it sounded like.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just me. I'm obviously clearly in the minority because everyone claps, bar me and Daz. Clearly.
Yeah.
And my dad don't clap along to it either, but then he don't even sing. So
I could just imagine. Have you seen that Tom Hardy when he plays in The Craze and he walks up to that woman and goes, when they're in church and she's not singing, he's like, fucking sing. They just come up to someone who comes randomly up to me and you, fucking clap.
Yeah.
Before we move on, we got a few people comments. How often do you do these lives? We do it every week on a Thursday, 8 p.m. Apart from next week, it's a week off because it's my birthday. But
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh wow, tough shit. I'm more enjoyable. I do things. So every Thursday, 8 o'clock from the 7th of July. Spencer says, "Do you think the Islanders will set up within the next couple of seasons?"
That's a
I
good
mean,
question.
it's not. It's probably something that they might think about. It depends how far they're willing to take us. I think it depends if they are serious. They will need to. They will need to invest into the stadium. They will need to make a new North Stand sooner rather than later. Otherwise, you will end up being left behind. But I think the next few seasons will probably be some of the most key times we'll see. For me, I don't know what you boys think.
I wonder. I'm probably guessing that question's come because of the Redmond and Brown leaving, but as we said earlier, I don't think it's got anything to do with anything. But it's a good question. I'm leaning towards no, but I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I agree with that. Daz?
I mean, again, it's football, and so anything can happen in football, like business. I mean, we looked at I know obviously there's a lot of stick about COVID and people saying that the Islanders kept us alive in COVID and that kind of thing. I understand that, but anything can happen, can't it, in life? So never say never. But I personally think they're in it for like the long haul because the amount of money for me for them to sell the club, they need a substantial offer that's gonna outweigh what they put in already by a lot. I don't think they're not the type of people that are going to sell it to make an extra 10 million. Because if they're going to sell it, they're going to want a big chunk of money that is going to turn their heads. And I don't think we're at that level yet. Maybe if we, in the next 5 to 10 years, somehow get in the Premier League, then I think that could happen because of the amount of money that's in the Premier League. But no, not in the next 2 years. But as we said, never say never. But that's my opinion.
Then last one, the hot take from Porgy Talk is pound for pound, Pompey fans outclass every other club in the UK. Is that really a hot take? I don't think so. We all think it, really.
No,
there is another hot take.
We're definitely up there, but I mean, there are some sets of fans that like.
I think Palace outdo us.
Yeah, because it's different, isn't it? Because like,
do you think Palace outdo us?
Yeah, there you go. Have that as my hot take. Crystal Palace are a better fan base than we are.
I think we're similar, but the thing is, with say Man United, I know people give them a lot of stick about their home fans, but away fans, they're so fucking loud. I've been to quite a few games when they're ridiculously loud.
Who was that? United? Did you say?
Huh?
Was that Man United? Did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to love it when he used to come to Fratton Park.
Yeah, their away fans are brilliant. So, like the thing is, especially like in the recent like sort of seasons and stuff like that, we've only been to certain grounds and stuff like that. So only a certain set of fans would have like experienced like Pompey's away following. But everyone like last season, things like that always said about our away following, which was really good, and our home fans. The majority of the time are spot on, and it can be really loud. And I think, especially this season, where I think we respond better to being sort of backs against the wall kind of thing. I think that's when the Pompey fans really come out, really go when there's less expectation. I think the Leeds game was up there for one of the best atmospheres I think we've had for quite a few seasons. But yeah, we're definitely up there. Whether we're first or not, like we're always going to say we are, aren't we? But you'll have a fair few other clubs that will say the same.
One more just popped in from Joe Giles. He said, thoughts on the loyalty point situation.
Well, that was going to be part of what grinds my gears. I was going to keep it.
So we'll cover it now. For me, I don't I can understand the frustration of people that have built it up over many years. However, I also understand the fact that younger fans that want to go on away days, they should be able to, but they can't because it's taken up by the old guard. The best way to do it would be do what England do. I think it's 70 or 80% are given via loyalty points. The other 20 or 30% is done by a ballot. So then the 70, 80% of the old guard with the best loyalty points that have followed us since losing, going up to snowy Accrington or whatever shit show we decided to put on back when we were in League Two. People like Ryan Stillwell, people like that can go to every game. But there's also a smaller portion of younger kids or people like myself who I'm not able to make every away game, but I might pick one away game a year where I can go to that, I want to go, and then they can go, and then they can start to build up loyalty points, and then eventually they will make it into the old guard as well. Alongside that, I do think that the 3 years probably isn't long enough. I'd have probably made it 4 to 5 years instead. But maybe that's protecting the old guard more again. But I think the FA's way of doing it with a ballot of a percentage is probably the best way. I don't know what you boys think.
Well, you know what I think.
I can't remember, mate.
I'm gonna stick because I'm gonna bring this up again next week on what grinds my gears, because it's not about necessarily the loyalty part. It's how the old guard react to it, and how they think that they just own it, if that makes sense. So, but I agree what you just said. I think that's probably the fairest way. It used to just be like ballots, no one moaned. Then there weren't no social media, so maybe people moaned. But I can remember going to Premier League games and cup games and what have you, and you just put your name in the hat and hoped you got it, and that was the end of it. If you didn't, you didn't. If you got it, great. I hate the whole loyalty thing being the way it is. I don't know how I'm supposed to get my sons up. I wanted to go to Oxford. People go, yeah, it's close. Yeah, my 12. You sit with my 12-year-old going all the way to bloody Sunderland. You can piss right off. No offense to my boy, but going to Oxford is bearable. I wanted to take him. It's my birthday. It's his birthday tomorrow as well. We'll have money. Spend the day out. My dad wanted to come as well, and it sold out at 120 points. Got no fucking chance. How much?
And it's also down to the fact of the stadium size, isn't it? The smaller the stadium, the less likely you're going to get it. Because
Exactly. And then people, I'm going to keep it for next week, but there are a lot of things that were said that were bang out of order by some people. That's
for me, from what I understand, for the change in the loyal points anyway, I think if you've built up a load and you're still going, I think you're still protected and you'll still be in the higher bracket. So that's the understanding I got from it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm sure someone could sort of correct me on it. But yeah, I think the fairest way, I wouldn't mind scrapping the whole thing, like loyalty points altogether, but I think the fairest thing to do would be, like, as has said, like 70 or 80% goes to obviously goes on the loyalty bit, and then the ones that are left over goes to a ballot, and then everyone has a chance to do it. The only problem you've got with the ballot there is if you want to go as a family, you can't necessarily do it because one of you might get picked, one not, unless they don't pick, unless you group them together, and then they don't pick the family of four because it's not fair, or there's not 4 tickets available. So do they then split that up into 1 or 2s and stuff like that? It's one of these things where there's a percentage of people are going to like it and a percentage of people aren't going to like it, no matter what you do. So it's trying to just pick the fairest way possible. I'd like to go to a few more away games, stuff like that. And obviously with life, I haven't been able to. I've been to like 1 or 2 every season, but I don't go to as many as I would like to. But yeah, as you said, Russ, like, I know people say about going up to Sunderland and things like that, but sometimes that's just not viable. And it's not because you're not a good fan. It's because you just can't get there. Like, everyone's it's a tough time at the moment for everyone with money and that kind of thing, and time as well. So sometimes you need to spend it certain ways. But I don't like the whole like when people say about part time and that kind of thing, because as I think we spoke about this, when if you get a big allocation, you're gonna need, say like Blackburn for example, they give you the whole stand, so that's what 6,000-7,000 I think it is. So you're going to need the part-time fans, as you call them, to be there if you want to fill it up. And they'll moan that people aren't there, but then they might moan that a part-timer has picked up enough points to maybe take their ticket. The reason we had the biggest attendance for the Checker Trade Trophy final was because you would have had a selection of part-time fans or fans that don't go to as many away games being there. You wouldn't have had that without them. And we look at that as like a real achievement. So I agree with Russ. I don't agree with the whole looking down on certain fans to get to certain games because some people just can't do it. I mean, I've got a season ticket, so I shell out what 500 quid? I can't remember how it is now. I shell that out at the start of the season. So just because I don't go to loads of away games, does that make me part time? I go to every home game. So I think people just need to sort of calm down a little bit when certain things happen. But as I said, you're never going to please everyone. It's just trying to find the fairest way possible.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then the last hot take I will read is from HM_1308. Is Terry Devlin will be a Premier League player within the next 2 to 3 seasons?
Potentially, he needs to get rid of that rawness fast if you're going to do 2 to 3 years. Don't get me wrong, his anticipation of a ball was one of the best I've seen. Like,
he can leap like a salmon.
Yeah, but he needs to. The one criticism I have of him is he needs to learn to kind of look around him.
I think but he needs to play more for that. I feel like he needs to actually have a consistent run.
That's what I mean by if you're talking 2 to 3 seasons. If you're talking, he will be in the Premier League one day. 100% agree. 2 to 3 seasons, I would say he would have to adapt quickly, and the only way he can do that is games, and maybe you have to leave Pompey.
He showed
That's it. Terry Devlin is leaving Pompey. You heard it here first. Tweet about it, retweet it, put it on the forum.
In Portsmouth.
Well, the thing is, I definitely, as you said, Russ, he could definitely be a Premier League player at some point because he's shown that he's come over from the League of Ireland, played in League One, has looked pretty comfortable, played in the Championship, again, has looked pretty comfortable. So there's no reason why he then couldn't take the next step up. Whether, obviously he'd be playing for a team probably in and around the relegation zone, clearly. But if you can stay up a season or two, then you will then be a Premier League player. I don't get on board with a player that played in the Premier League for one season and gets relegated. He's not a Premier League player. You're a Premier League player if you're in there for a good 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 seasons.
Dad, if you made one appearance in a Premier League, you would be fucking telling everybody.
Oh yeah,
come on.
But then I would also know people would be like, "No, you ain't, mate. Fuck off." Like, because
you make an appearance in the Premier League, you are an ex-Premier League footballer.
No,
you are
not for me. No. No.
Technically, you are, but I get what Dad's saying.
Yeah.
I do as well. I'm just trying to annoy him.
Like, it's like David Nugent, like, when obviously he played for England that one time. I know he scored because he took it off of Defoe, but he's not an England international, is he?
He is. Like, he represented England. He played and scored.
On black and white, he kind of is, but if you actually look at it, like, you wouldn't look at all these players that made one appearance. Like, what was it? Michael Ricketts, who used to play with Bolton. He played one game. He's not an England international.
He is. He played for England.
Is Nick Orford an ex-Pompey player?
Yes.
Yeah, but how many games did he play?
One, wasn't
it? Is Tariq Holmes-Dennis an ex-Pompey player?
No, not really. No, he played 10 minutes?
still put on the shirt, still played football for us.
No.
Yeah. I get what
Dad, you can't deny facts.
I can.
Facts.
You can.
You can't argue.
You can.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It can.
It can. Right, come on in, Harry. His time's getting on. Let's do Harry's Who Am I and wrap this up. I missed this song.
How much have you missed that theme tune, boys?
More than you realise.
More than you realise. Blimey.
I think you need to get someone who sounds like that X Factor bloke's voice to say, Harry's Who Am I at the end or something.
To be fair, Liam does a pretty good job on their own one, doesn't he? On Three Lads.
You have to get him to do that for us.
Yeah. Right. There we are. This is where we were at. Clue number 1. I played 35 times for Portsmouth, scoring 2 goals.
Anyway. Here we go. That's a season, isn't it?
Huh?
That's either a season or someone who barely played over multiple seasons. 35 times. Do we gamble the first guess with someone who's only here for a year? Like a loan or something?
He's just going to Hail Mary it, isn't he, again?
2 goals, 35 appearances. Giselle.
Russ, this is not a guess, Harry, before you start pressing your buttons. Russ, have we already said Kennedy?
Kennedy. Yeah.
What, Matty Kennedy?
Matty Kennedy, yeah.
Have we already said him before?
I think we said him. Whether he was actually an answer, I don't know.
Matty Kennedy, was it?
Did he score? I thought he only scored 1.
I know he scored against Northampton. Did he score against Northampton? I think he might have scored 2.
He hasn't been an answer before.
I'm just going to go with Matty Kennedy. Right, no, that's fine. You can press your button then.
Right. Clue number 2. I played with Dion Burton and Lee Holmes, but not at Pompey.
Oh, thank God, he's taken the third away. I can remember these.
I couldn't find a third one, so there's only 2.
Dion Burton and Lee Holmes. So Dion Burton is what? Derby, Charlton, was it? We've had Burton a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah. Walsall.
Well travelled is old Dion.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. And then Lee Holmes, who's he played for? Preston, was it?
Yeah. Did he play for Scum as well?
Yeah, but Burton didn't, did he?
No.
I think, was it Gillingham Burton's played for as well? Rotherham? Maybe we concentrate more. I don't think Lee Holmes has played for as many clubs. Could be there all day.
I'm not going to be able to use Andy Bartram again, am I?
I'm sure Lee Holmes played for Exeter.
Could, yeah.
Preston, because that's where we got him on loan from. And then I'm sure he went to Exeter after us. He was at Scum, wasn't he? But they were both, well, maybe not together, but they both were at Derby. Isn't that where he started, Lee Holmes? Let's go for a Derby player, fuck it. Early 2000 Derby player.
Oh no, I don't think he would have scored, did he? I was thinking of someone like John Villafara for a second. I don't think he scored any, did he?
What other English team did he play for?
He played.
Other than Scum, did he go to Scum?
Yeah, he played for Scum, and I'm pretty sure that was around the same time that Lee Holmes was there. But I just don't think
John Villafara scored 1, did he?
Yeah.
2 goals. I'm going for a Derby. Who we had from Derby? Derby.
George Fawn.
I think would he have played with the? I'm talking when.
Oh no, yeah.
So you're looking at like late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure on the age of Holmes.
Jesus.
Fuck. Why has my brain gone dead? Daryl Powell. I knew he played for Derby.
Daryl Powell would have played a lot more games, wouldn't
No, I know, but
he? Yeah.
I was thinking more of time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think now.
I'm going Derby route. You go what route you want to go.
I'm just going just go John Villafara.
Yeah. Only because I know he scored only 1 goal for Pompey.
Yeah.
So number 3, I had trials at Everton and Pompey, but chose to sign for Portsmouth.
Trials. Depends what age of that though, isn't it?
Right, you can have a trial any age. With our Berkovic, not our Berkovic, and Georgie King Gladstone at 38 having a trial, didn't we, when we were in the Premier League?
Wow. Everton, Pompey. Do you think he's from up that way, Northerner?
Who?
The player I'm thinking of.
Could be.
Oh my god, this has done me, this one. See, you thought maybe Has might have started off like pre-season kind of thing, nice and easy, just ease yourselves into it, and then just start bang. It's to get towards the business end, really go for it. But
to be fair, didn't it like hard work when you go back pre-season and then it's easy?
Yeah.
But not anymore. Not anymore. It's just they get the balls out a bit more nowadays.
I don't want to know what you do.
And the footballs. Done here. I think I'm done.
Oh, mate.
I need a clue.
Need a clue.
Can I ask one question? Just so then I can move away from it.
Depends what it is.
Is it a Derby player?
I would. No.
Damn it. You know, could be anyone now. Right, 35 goals, 35 games, 2 goals.
If anyone knows, put it in the comments.
That's the point. Yeah, come on, people. Oh, God, 2 goals. Like a defender or like a midfield, like a centre mid?
I don't know.
Aaron Mokoena.
Is that your last guess?
I generally don't know. Fuck it, yeah, go on. I know he scored 2 goals. Well, I think
right, I'm gonna have a random guess. Gianluca Festa.
1 goal, wasn't it?
I couldn't remember.
But before giving it a ground who it is, where do they play with the players?
Porgy said he's putting it into ChatGPT and it still doesn't have a clue.
Where did he play with Dion Burton?
Well, that's giving it away, isn't it? Swindon.
Giving it away? That does not give it away.
Well, he also played with Lee Holmes at Swindon as well.
They both were at Swindon.
Yeah.
Did Simon Ferry ever?
I was about to say Simon Ferry.
Did he score? I don't remember him scoring. Was it Simon Ferry?
No.
Oh.
No. No.
Swindon and Portsmouth were the only 2 English clubs he played for.
It's not Miligaranzi, is it? That his name?
Stefan Miligaranzi.
Yeah.
It's a shout.
Didn't he play for Swindon? Didn't we get him from Swindon?
Possibly. Is that it?
Is it him?
Ah. We take it.
He went to Swindon after us.
Right, yeah. Because I knew I when it said that, and you said the only English club, so I was just trying to think of players that been at both, and for some reason he just really came ahead then.
He thanked me for putting one of his goals up once, so he could show people that he actually was a footballer.
Really?
When I first started,
Well, don't forget he made 35 appearances in 3 years.
he went. I put up. I can't remember what goal it was. I think it was against Palace or something like that. And he replied and he said, "Oh, thanks for this up. I can show people and prove that I used to be a footballer."
Where's he? Is he American?
Yeah, well, kind of, isn't it? But
Born in Brazil.
yeah, but I think he lived in America, so
Yeah, he played for a lot of American clubs. Played for LA Galaxy, Columbus Crew, Philadelphia Union.
That was before MLS really kicked off, isn't it? Really.
But wasn't Mignoranzi there when Beckham went to LA Galaxy?
He was there for 2006 and 2009.
Yes, he would have been. Yeah, yeah.
Beckham
Beckham's playing with Mignoranzi.
Beckham couldn't lace his boots, mate.
Brilliant. Right.
That's because he was in the reserve team.
Yeah. Didn't wear laces.
This might be the longest one we've ever done.
I think it is. First one.
Oh, good. It was a good chance that was going to happen.
It's the first one, isn't it? There's a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on.
Next time won't be so bad. It would only be previewing the Oxford game, and then obviously any signings we might have made.
We won't have made any because we've got no ambition and we're really rubbishly run.
But it made me laugh, actually. Sorry, just one last thing. I'll see a comment earlier that made me really laugh, which we put in our chat, which was the one where it can't be Harvey Nibs because that means we have to spend money. Yet this player that we're getting from Sweden is contracted, so surely we're going to have to spend money to bring him in.
Yeah, and Segatic and Hayden Matthews and Waddingham and
Mark
and Mark and all these players. Like,
I hate that you just call him Mark.
Oh yeah,
I need to hear
someone
say his name for me to be able to remember it.
Yeah.
Koznovsky.
How would you know that's how it's said?
Because it's what his fucking name spells, mate.
It
It's not hard to read.
Said. How many times have we been fooled by names? For years, you call players by the wrong name, and then you hear them say their own name. You're like, oh,
not difficult.
Well, that's where you
look
want.
at Phil Jack Yelker. It's not all them years. It's not Jack Yelker. It's something else. When he said his own name, I was like, that's not your name. Your name is Jack Yelker.
Yeah, well, it's like Martin Keown says his name is Keowen, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
He's a twat. But have you seen those videos of like the players? They stand in front of the camera and they pronounce their name.
Yeah.
The commentators.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fernandes.
I don't care if he's Fernandes. His name's Fernandez.
Yeah, like funny story once. Like obviously, I had YouTube on my TV going, and I fell asleep. And like when you're in a deep sleep, I could hear something, but I couldn't work out what it is. And for some reason, I had a 2 or 3 hour video. It was all the Premier League players saying their names. And I thought I could hear something in my sleep. I just woke up.
No wonder you fell asleep.
And I was halfway. I think I was halfway through the Everton team. Them saying their names.
Just after his afternoon tea.
Yeah. Got have a nap.
Right, boys. It's been a pleasure. I've missed you both.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Obviously, nothing next week because has a birthday. How old are you, Has?
26.
20.
Fuck yeah.
26. So it's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm 37.
Oh. When did you get your OA paper?
Ask Daz. So we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Looking forward to the new season. Are you boys going to the Dutch game?
Yes. My little boy's first game.
Very good. Yeah, my dad and my boy will be there. Are you there, Daz?
Not sure yet. Because
you have to ask if
you have to see
if the nurses.
You have to see if Scummer playing at home first.
I've got to be signed out the home. I've got to get.
Yeah, you have to have one of the nurses to accompany him outside the home.
I'm having a walk-in bath installed, so I don't know.
Right, been a pleasure, boys.